So what do you do on a normal, like, in a week? Like, events, you know, trainings?
Yeah. And so I fill my schedule with, I mean, I speak once a quarter in the UK. I do my weekend breakthrough event, Find Your Passion, Live with Purpose. Find Your Purpose, Live with Passion. I do that every quarter. I also do that talk in other countries around the world. It's all grown just through word of mouth over the years. And yeah, I change lives. On a day-to-day basis, I pretty much kind of, you know, it's quite relaxed. There's not much to do, so to speak. And so I keep myself entertained with my businesses. Again, I'll never get involved in a business that I have to run physically. So the businesses that I own are all very hands-off. I'll own them and I'll have other people manage and run them.
Why do you do that?
And I'll oversee them. Because again, I'm not interested in consuming my time with doing. It's not. If a business requires me to run it, then I'm not interested. However lucrative that business is, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm all about systems and leverage, and for me, my number one priority is freedom. And so I won't let anything infringe upon that. However tempting it might be. Temptation is always sent our way to test us. And so the ability to resist that temptation, stay focused on what your priorities are and your values and your beliefs. And so for me, freedom is far more important than any amount of money. And so I'd rather make £50,000 a year and own my life than make £500,000 a year and be a slave to a business or a system or a job or whatever. And so, you know, and once you understand that, you also understand that if you can get that concept, you'll never be stuck on 50,000 a year, because then it's just, again, as we said earlier, you know, if you can make 50,000 a year, you can make $500,000 a year. It's
That's
not,
right.
After that it just becomes energy. And
That's
so
right.
it's not to do with how hard you work, it's to do with how, you know, how you understand applying energy to stuff that you do. And so yeah, my business is all self-sufficient, they run themselves, and I kind of just live my life. I spend a lot of time with my family. I live with my mother, my brother, my sister-in-law. I've got 3 beautiful kids through my brother, a nephew and 2 nieces. And you know, I dedicate much of my time to them and the rest of my time to traveling the world and reaching people and making a difference. And so, you know, I do a fair bit of volunteer work with colleges and universities, as well as seminars for people in other countries where they'll call me over and put events together. And yeah, that's my passion. And I'm also plugged into one of my passionate businesses that allows me to reach a bigger audience is network marketing, as you well know. It's something I'm very passionate about for many reasons. And one of the main reasons is that, you know, oftentimes I speak to people like you and you're inspired, you're motivated, but if you don't have a vehicle to now channel that energy into, then very quickly that motivation, somebody once said to me, Kalpesh, this motivation stuff doesn't last very long. And I said, you're absolutely right, it's just like having a bath.
That's right.
It doesn't last very long as an activity on its own. And so it requires you to keep immersed, to keep, you know, make sure, you know, you've got to have a bath every day for it to work. It doesn't work as a one-off activity. It's like going to, you know, it's like going to have a bath once a month is going to have a result, but then if you have it every day, that's a different result. The activity is the same. How consistent you are with it will change the end result. And so motivation's the same. Going to a weekend event is not what motivation's about. That's why I'm more about inspiration. Right. Because you can use the event to springboard you into inspiration, but then you've got to have a structure around you to keep that conversation alive. The new language, the new words, the new internal dialogue, keeping all of that alive is imperative. And so for me, network marketing is a great vehicle for keeping the conversation alive. You know, in all of my years, I've never seen a business system that allows anybody to get involved anywhere, at any level, and stay engaged in a conversation that brings out the best in them. Always raising the bar, raising the standards, and you're surrounded by people that want you to win. It's a beautiful industry. It's certainly coming of age, and got some great big people talking about it. In fact, one of the books I want to just touch on here is this one right here. Many of you might be familiar with that title. I know that you certainly are. Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So it's just again, you know, many people read this and they're like, wow, I never knew this. But I remember when I read it about a decade ago, maybe 8-10 years ago, I can't remember, when it first came out. For me, it wasn't a wow, I never knew this, because I come from that thinking already. I was blessed enough to have the rich dad in my father, and so I had that training. So for me, it was like, wow, somebody's put it in a book. And so that was great. So it's a very easy read. I highly recommend you read it. You know, by Robert Kiyosaki, and you know, they've sold over 20 million copies of his range of books, so very credible, and it's just a fun read. But again, Robert Kiyosaki talks about openly, you know, the importance of getting into a home-based business, network marketing, if you're committed to success and living a great life. Donald Trump and the likes are all ranting and raving about this industry, so you know, get yourself involved. absolutely beautiful.
Wow. And what about this one, Become Rich Now?
So again, this is another book, and again, you can get a copy of that on my website, alongside multiple streams of inspiration as well. And again, I was asked by this book's Become Rich Now in Network Marketing, and the guy that put the book together, he called me around 6 months ago and said, Kalpesh, you know, I've heard about the results you've produced, and I've heard you're one of the greatest networkers in the UK. Could you write a chapter for us? And I said, absolutely. And I put together a chapter, sent it off, and they absolutely loved it. But I'm alongside many other top earners around the world from different companies that have shared their story, their journey of how the industry has impacted their life and allowed them to give back, contribute and make a difference, but also create freedom. And so again, it's the beginning of freedom for me. And it's certainly not the end. There's so much more you can do. But, you know, with network marketing, it allows you to get with zero risk.
Yeah.
You're putting in sweat equity and some time capital. But once you put in that place, you can literally put a system in place that can replace your income. And if you can replace your income in 12, 24 months, now you're free. You can go on to achieve whatever you want to achieve beyond that. But owning your time is the first priority.
Right.
So your first priority is owning your time. And this vehicle, network marketing, allows you to do that in the most efficient way and the quickest way possible.
Wow.
So, you know, we were just discussing again briefly, another memory just cropped up when we were traveling through Cameroon. And there was a moment, and do you want to tell them quickly what happened for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that story just flashed in my mind as well. Actually, we were in Cameroon, we were in Douala, so to say, and you were in a restaurant eating some nice food. So I popped in with some friends, and I discovered that, you know, in that part of Cameroon, there are a lot of mosquitoes, and people, they often say there that when you get mosquito bites, you get malaria. It's like, it's a disease, you know, it makes people sick and people die from it. When I saw mosquitoes on your hands, and I was scared because I shouted, you know, the fear of it. I was like, "Calbs, those mosquitoes are gonna kill you!" And you just looked at me and you smiled. If I can remember, you just smiled. You know, like, you know how wise people smile. I didn't grasp it. I shouted again, and you just smiled and you made your head. I think you made a nod. Yeah, you did like that. You didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, probably you took the treatment for malaria, and that's why you're not doing anything. So, you know how things happen, you know, there are no mistakes, and everything that is there is a message. So when I found myself back in Manchester, I was reading a lot about, you know, fear and how things happen to us, and the memory came back, and I read somewhere that what happens to you is what you put in your mind. And I jumped up. It was like something was there that I wasn't seeing or feeling before. So I called one or two friends and I talked to them. I didn't call you yet because I thought I wasn't ready to give you this information now. But today, I mean, as a testimony, I've traveled to Cameroon about 4 different times since we came back, and I didn't take any treatment, no anti-treatment, and I'm telling you, I feel healthy and stronger than ever. So I'm just gonna say, I mean, it was a blessing, you know. What happened there? You actually spoke to me, but you didn't do it with words. Yeah,
that was quite a moment for me, and just you know, kind of going back in time, remembering that you know, I've been traveling for many years now, and I've been blessed to have been to all parts of the world, and I've never taken the tablets and the treatments and the injections, and you know, people freak out. Oh my God, you're going here, you're going there, you've got to do this. Most people always operate out of fear, and so, you know, for me, when I discovered this whole we create our own reality, we create our own experiences of life, I've kind of, I'm not going to be so arrogant as to say that I'm never scared, absolutely not, but I'm certainly not bothered by the little fears that dominate so much of so many people's lives. There's a quietness and a calmness knowing that I'm at one with the creatures on the planet, and you know, we're all just kind of here to do our thing, and as long as I'm here sending off a peaceful vibe, then I'll get a peaceful vibe back. And you know, I've kind of steered clear of the whole pharmaceutical world for some years now, and as a result I benefit from it hugely, in that I don't do the usual flu symptoms and sniffles and colds and coughs and all of that kind of stuff that people get caught up in as often as they do.
So ladies and gentlemen, this was really powerful and inspirational information from one of the best coaches in the whole of the UK. Now, I've really enjoyed that so much. It's really been a wonderful interview for me, because I've been taught, so to say. Now, I teach people, but I've been taught here today, and it's just been an awesome interview. And I want Kapesh to now leave you with something that you can take with you and really, like, go out there and make a difference. You know, go out there and start living a life you're supposed to be living.
You know, on a parting note, I suppose for you, the audience here today, is just, you know, don't have this be something that passes you by. really, for me, one of the big keys in my journey was the ability to take action. Bottom line, that's going to be the difference between where you are 12 months from listening to this information. Are you going to have made some changes and be in a different place, or are you going to be in the same place? And I often say to people, I can pretty much predict most people's history based on where they are right now. The chances are 2 years ago you're exactly where you are now, 5 years ago you're exactly where you are right now, 10 years ago you are exactly where you are right now, bar some minor changes, maybe a few more wrinkles, a couple of extra grey hairs, but beyond that, the flavour of life, the essence of life kind of remains constant until you die. And most people spend their entire life treading on eggshells, being super careful so as not to upset the apple cart, so as not to jar the norm, and that fear keeps us from being who we are. And so step out, take a chance, jump and grow your wings on the way out, and just have a leap of faith that I believe everyone's born to be great. Every one of us has got something inside that we can give back that will add value to humanity. And whatever it is that that you were born to give, find out what it is. Spend some time, meditate, take some time out. What is your passion? What is it? And here's the measure. What lights you up the most? What do you find really easy to do? When are you in complete flow? When you are in touch with your purpose, when you're in touch with your passion, and life is easy. It really is. And the struggle disappears. You move from going against the grain to going with the grain. You start flowing with it. Water doesn't flow uphill.
That's right.
It doesn't struggle. Water goes where it's supposed to go. And so for you is to have faith in that, you can go where you were supposed to go if only you let go of the fear that's keeping you where you are. And I hope with that information that you find your purpose, you find your passion, and at some point we'll meet each other at a seminar, an event, or on one of the beaches around the world, or maybe one of the mountaintops around the world. But I certainly look forward to connecting with you. Feel free to connect with me on my website. You can sign up to my newsletter on www.thekalpeshpatel.com. That's TheKalpeshpatel.com. If you sign up to the newsletter, I'll also give you a free gift, a copy of a book, the first personal development book that I read, a book called Think and Grow Rich, which was to set my course on a whole different direction, and I'm sure it will you too. And on that note, I want to thank you for listening to this, and I wish you the best of everything that you deserve. See you at the top.
Thanks so much, Kalps, and see you all guys at the top.
Hey guys, just want to close off with saying, listen, you can have the lifestyle that you dream of. Every one of us when we were young dreamt of one day living a dream life. What was your dream? Get back in touch with that and start creating it right now today. And let's work on this together, and so that you can one day live that passion that as a child you were born to live. Thank you once again. See you at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, dreams are really the seedlings of reality. Kapesh Patel has just proven it to you. Now go out there and do something. Thanks for being our guest today, and we look forward to seeing you at the next show. We love you, and love you. Bye-bye.